Hello, right, hi. So this is Biohacking Joe Baines. We're going to talk about weight loss. So how do you lose weight? Is that what you want to know?
Yes.
Yeah, all right. So losing weight is in fact incredibly easy. It's incredibly healthy. It's incredibly... So what causes you to gain weight? Well, the reason we have weight around our midriff here is because it's called sugar and refined carbs. So if you can cut out sugar and refined carbs from your diet, your weight drops off. So because the biggest thing we're told by your doctor and all these people is that you need to cut out fat. Fat is essential for your body, which is why it's called essential fat. You would die if you didn't have fat in your diet, basically. Whereas if you cut out sugar and carbs, you will become really healthy. So what happens if you eat a high sugar, high carb diet? It's toxic for your body, and your body panics, so it doesn't know what to do with it. So it goes, shit. And so what it does, it tries to get the body to absorb it, and if the body can't absorb it quickly enough, because what sugar and carbs do in your bloodstream is they turn your blood acidic, which then starts damaging your internal organs, which is why you then end up with diabetes and all the other problems. And so what your body is trying to do with the sugar and carbs is trying to get rid of it as quickly as possible. And it does that by spiking insulin. And when it spikes insulin, it's basically shouting at your body, insulin, to absorb the sugar from the blood because it's toxic. And so what your body will do is start storing it. And one of the quickest way to store it is around your stomach. And that is why your stomach gets big because you're eating so much sugar and carbs. But the other problem with sugar and carbs is because it spikes your insulin so high, then your body absorbs too much sugar from the blood, and so your sugar in your blood drops too much. And when it drops too much, that tells the body that you haven't got enough energy. So your body then sends out a signal saying, eat more, which is why when you have a high sugar, high carb meal, you'll get hungry within a couple of hours. Is because your sugar has done this. Because evolutionally, we're not designed to eat that much sugar and carbs. And so evolutionally, our bodies don't know what to do when you eat too much sugar and carbs. So it spikes your insulin, and then it drops again, and then you're hungry again, and then you want to eat more. So hence why you're always hungry. You know, the more Chinese food you eat, or the more high carb foods you eat, the hungrier you get.
Ah, I see.
It's because your sugar is doing this, and then boom, crashes. So you're basically crashing during the day.
So what would be 3 action points that I can take to implement today or this week?
Very easy. You want to cut out sugar and bread from your diet, and you want to eat high fat, because high fat satisfies you and it doesn't spike your sugar. And then your body will start burning the fat as well. So if you wanted to, and the other one, so one is increase the amount of fat. So, and by that I mean coconut oil, avocados, fatty animals, liver and all that kind of stuff, and cut out sugars, because the sugars is what spikes your blood. And cut out bread. Bread is basically sugar these days. It just turns to sugar in your body, and it will just spike your sugar levels. And the other one you want to do is eat within a small window. You want to make that window as small as possible. You start with 8 hours, so you eat within an 8-hour window. Once you get used to that, you will eat within a 6-hour window. Once you get used to that, you bring it down to 4 hours. I brought it down to like 1 hour now. But 6 hours or less is the best. That's it. You do that, your health within 2 to 3 months will go through the roof.
If I can ask a question, but not all fats are equal, right? If I eat like lard,
yes,
that intuitively, or at least.
And you're right, yes. So not all fats are equal. So whatever you eat, whether it's a plant or an animal, if it comes from a diseased, sick animal or plant, then you will absorb those toxins. So if you eat plants, for example, that have had chemicals sprayed on them, that have been chemically treated in some way, and you eat that plant, you will get the toxins because the plant absorbs those toxins.
Okay.
And it's same with an animal. If you get a factory farmed animal that's been pumped full of antibiotics and all kinds of other stuff, then you absorb those. So
I see.
if you one of the best things to eat, by the way, is butter. But if most of the butter in supermarkets is from unhealthy animals, which have been fed antibiotics, have been raised, have been given shitty diets, and they're very unhealthy. So the butter from those isn't healthy. So if you can get organic grass-fed butter, that is the healthiest thing you can eat, by the way.
I see.
Yeah. Margarine is the worst, because margarine is trans fats, is what is the word I'm looking for? Artificial fats, and your body doesn't know what to do with that. So if you eat margarine, you will put it there because your body doesn't know what to do with it. So it stores it as fat because it's trying to get rid of it. Yeah, avocados, awesome. Eat as much as you want. Eggs gotta be organic, grass-fed. You know, from chickens that have been roaming around, not battery caged eggs. If you eat, so the healthiest thing you can eat is organic eggs, organic butter, avocados, organic coconut oil, those things. If you add those into your diet and you remove sugar and bread from your diet, your health will go through the roof. And then you shorten your window for eating to 8 to 6 hours every day. You eat within that window, your health will just go through. It's the easiest thing in the world, being healthy.
Okay.
But we're not taught this.
So if I had, just to check my understanding, so action point number 1 would be to reduce sugar
And bread.
and then to eat. Then number 2 would be to increase fat but avoid trans fat.
Yeah.
And then what would be the third?
The third one is the eating window.
Oh yeah,
The eating window is
yeah.
so big. It's just unbelievable.
So my final question before the end of this video would be, what would be a realistic amount of weight to lose every week or month in your opinion? So currently, for some accountability as well, right now I hover around 82 kilos, and then just for some accountability, this is now the end of the 31st of August 2019. So what can I realistically aim for the new year, let's say?
So I wouldn't aim for anything. Basically, what I would do is do that. When your body becomes healthy, it would naturally start shedding. So the biggest problem and where people go wrong the most is they will follow something like this and then they will weigh themselves on a regular basis. But everybody's bodies are different. So you will lose weight at a different rate to somebody else. So rather than focusing on losing weight, which will demoralize you, by the way, because you may even put weight on initially, yeah? Because the body has to detox, it has to go through a lot of repair processes, so you may actually even gain weight in the short term. But as long as you're doing the right thing over the long term, your weight will drop off. And because I have clients, and the biggest problem I have with them is they'll weigh themselves once a day, twice a day, going, oh my God, you know, I weighed myself this morning and then I weighed and I put on a little bit of weight, and then they get demoralized. So I would say the first thing you should do is throw the scales in the bin, because the scales are misleading and they will hamper you, because initially your body will hold water because it's detoxing, and also you're changing what you're doing, and so your body will try to compensate by holding water. So your weight could go up initially because of the way the body is working. So I would say don't weigh yourself. If you're going to weigh yourself once every 2 weeks, once every month, but the maximum. But the best way to know if you're healthy is how clear your mind is, how much energy you have, and how positive you feel. And also, your clothes will start fitting you much better. You'll look in the mirror and you go, oh my God, look, there's nothing there. Because I used to have a tummy. And then the next thing I know, you know, I can start wearing, because I used to wear loose clothing because I didn't like the way my body looked. But now I start wearing tight clothes because I like the way I look now, yeah? And that will change. So forget the weight. If you're eating right, your weight will automatically fall off.
Awesome.
And you can tell, rather than weighing yourself, from how your body looks and feels. That's
Awesome.
great.
All right. Thank you very much for your advice today.
That's right.
Cheers.
Cheers.